Good morning, gorgeous. Thank you for checking in. Speaking of checking in, I'm going to tag several other yoga studios and yogis in NWA who now have live stream going. Classes online available as well. So that way you guys get a little bit of variety. Maybe we woke up today thinking we were more in the gentle mood or yin or restorative. There's something out there for everyone. And if you've practiced with me before, you know that I always say variety is the spice of life. So I want to bring all of that to you guys so you can check those out as well. So with that being said, let's get going with today's practice. It is featuring a little bit of Bird of Paradise. So if you're in the mood for that, let's get ready to rock and roll. We're going to start our practice in a comfortable seated position. Today I invite you to practice our counting breath. So at the top of each inhale, we're going to enjoy that breath for a moment, and at the bottom of each exhale, we're going to appreciate it as well. So we're going to begin closing the eyes and just begin with a 3-count breath. As we inhale, counting to 1, 2, 3. Holding on to that breath as we exhale to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, inhaling and exhaling. This time, see if we can lengthen the inhale to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the exhale to the count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhaling. And exhale. And keeping the eyes closed, just bringing the left ear over the left shoulder. Taking a deep breath in with the exhale, gently lower the chin towards the chest. Then bringing it over to the other side. Exhale, chin to chest. And to the left side. Moving with your breath from one side to the other, just letting go of any stress or tension that may be hiding in the neck muscles.
Slug, I don't like slugs. I don't like slugs.
Last time. And we'll bring the head back to center and blinking the eyes open. Taking a deep breath in, both arms high to the sky. Never a dull moment here. Exhale, pressing the fingertips down and away. 2 more times, just establishing that breath to body connection. 1 breath, 1 movement. Last time. And taking a breath all the way up as we exhale, reaching forward. And just breathing into those hips. Walking both hands over to the right side, stretching out through the left fingertips. And walking it around to the left side, reaching out to the right hand. And bringing it back to center. Rising all the way up, switching up the legs. Deep breath in, both arms high to the sky with this exhale. Just a gentle twist to the right side. Bringing that right arm behind us. Please ignore the cat. Looking back over that right shoulder. And as we inhale, reaching the arms all the way out and up, twisting to the left side. arms out, up, and back to center and into the heart. Making our way to hands and knees. Coming into a little tabletop action. Working with our surroundings here. It's a beautiful day. It's turned out to be a beautiful day after all those storms. So, the cat has left for cat and cow. Deep breath in. With our breath out, round up through the spine, chin towards the chest, press into the mat. As we inhale, lifting the head, lifting the hips, stretching through the abdomen. Exhale, rounding it up. Inhale, stretch it out.
I killed the slug.
2 more in each direction. Last round. And bringing it back to a neutral spine. Spread the fingers out wide, bend the elbows, bring them back towards the ribs, toes curl under, and hips go high in our first down dog. Lifting the heels and just walk it out. We can shift through the hips a little. As we begin our flow, I invite you into full side plank on both sides. If full side plank doesn't feel good today, remember we can always lower the bottom knee. As we inhale, shifting forward to our plank, we have the option with our next breath to take the right hand up towards the ceiling and take it back to our plank. Other hand, big breath. And take it back to our plank. With our next breath out, lower the heart. Then picking our option of baby cobra, king cobra, or upward facing dog. And take it back to our down dog. Right leg high to the sky. Exhale, lunging it between the hands. And just sink those hips, big breath in. As we exhale, step it to the top of the mat. Flat back. And release. Rise and shine. Interlacing the fingers, extend through the index.
I killed.
Leaning over to the right side. And squeeze it up. Leaning to the left side. And squeeze up. Hands through the heart center. Big breath all the way up. Swan dive all the way down. Halfway lift. And lower it down, return to down dog. Right foot back, left foot back, hips to the sky. Spreading the fingers out wide, leave our fingerprints in the mat.
No, I'm looking at Teddy.
And moving through each of those poses, a couple more times. Inhale, float it forward to our plank. And take the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, take it back down. Right hand, big breath in. Exhale, lower it down. Deep breath. And with our next exhale, lower through our chaturanga into our cobra or up dog. And back to down dog. Left leg high to the sky. 1, 2, 3. And lunge it between the hands. Melt into those hips. And step it to the top of the mat. Flat back. And release. Reach and rise all the way up. Interlace the fingers. Taking it to the left side. And squeeze. Over to the right side. And back up. Hands through the heart center. Big breath all the way up. Swan dive all the way down. Halfway lift. And release. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps back, right foot steps back, hips high. Holding here. Two more little vinyasa flows here. Take it to our plank. Right hand high to the sky.
I killed a spider.
Take it back down. Other side. Exhale back down. Deep breath in with our exhale, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. And back to our downward facing. Right leg floating up. Lunge it between the hands. Inhale, rising up this time if we choose. And take it back down, forward fold. Flat back. And breathe out. Watch out, buddy. Deep breath in, rising up. Interlace the fingers to the right side. Squeeze up to the left side. Squeeze up. Hands through the heart. Deep breath all the way up. Dive down. Flat. Halfway lift. Release it down. We can hop back this time or step right foot, left foot.
Whoa!
And back to our down dog. Watch out, buddy.
That almost got me.
Watch out. I don't want to get you. One more flow. Inhale to our plank. Taking the left hand up to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale back to the mat. Right side, inhale. And exhale. Deep breath in with our exhale, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. And downward facing. Left leg high to the sky. And into our lunge.
I squished it.
We can stay low or breathe up. And back down. Forward fold. Flat back. And release. Reach and rise all the way up. Interlacing the hands to the right side. Squeeze up to the left side. And back. Hands to the heart. Deep breath all the way up. Swan dive all the way down. Halfway lift. And release. Hop back or step back. Downward facing. Holding here, 2 more deep breaths. Right leg high to the sky. And lunging between the hands. Lowering that left knee down to the mat, uncurling the toes, just melting here.
If I see
Sending the
it,
hips back, melting out over that front leg. Just stretching into the hamstrings a little bit this morning. Waking up the lower back, getting ourselves ready for a little bit of Bird of Paradise. One more deep breath. And we'll take it back to our lunge. Curling the back toes under, picking that back leg up and walk it around to our straddle.
oh. I'm going on to the lake.
I see that.
I love you.
I love you too, buddy. Turning the right toes out to the side, bending into that right knee and just waking up those legs a little bit more. Oh, please don't climb on me. Don't climb on me. 1, 2. And take it back up. Walking over to the other side, coming into that low lunge. Melting in. And sending the hips back. Melting out over that child. Or it could be a cat or a dog or nothing at all. Just over that hamstring, over that leg. I'm just wish to be good. And coming back to that lunge. And curling the back toes under, take it back around to that straddle. Turning the left toes to the corner and melting in. Excuse me, please. 1, 2. Couple more deep breaths here. 1. And gently lifting up, coming back to that straddle. Hands to the thighs, slowly rising up. Turning the right toes to the top of the mat. Deep breath all the way up as we exhale, sink into our warrior two.
You look like on a surface.
Inhale, stretch it up, turn those right toes in, left toes to the back of the mat, sink in. Checking our alignment, make sure that the hips are level. Lifting up through the spine and sternum and out through the arms, sink in a little bit more. Inhale, stretch it up, warrior two, back to the other side, right toes to the top of the mat. This time we're going to build into our bird of paradise. Listen to your body, moving mindfully. Taking that right elbow to the right knee, left hand high to the sky. Sink into those hips. If we want to, we can take this left hand around the back of the body, right hand under the legs, finding a half or a full bind. You get to decide. As we heel toe this left foot beneath the hip, work the ankle along the way. When we're ready, shift the weight into that left foot, halfway lift, find our drishti. Then when we're ready, rise up. And maybe stretching it up. Finding that point that works best for you. When we're ready, we'll gently lower down, come back to our warrior two. Softly releasing the bind. Coming into a little triangle pose, just straightening that right leg. The hand can remain on the floor. We'll come into a more active variation. And softening that front knee, squeeze back up and melt back in. Maybe sink a little deeper as those hips open up. Inhale, stretch it up and coming to the other side. Bird of paradise on this side, left elbow, left knee, right hand high to the sky. Sink in. If we want that half bind, it's there. Full bind if we want it. If we want bird of paradise, heel toeing this right foot in. Until it gets beneath the hip. Shifting the weight into that right foot, halfway lift, extend through the spine, then rise up. And maybe stretching it up. Breathing, of course. And when we're ready, we'll softly release it down, step it down, and stretch it back out. Returning to that bind or extended side angle. Coming right into our triangle pose. Bring the right shoulder, right rib cage, stack it over the left side, then stretching through that leg. Softening the knee, squeeze ourselves back up to warrior two, sink back in. Maybe sinking a little deeper, making adjustments. And taking the hands to the hips. Straighten that leg, turning the left toes in, heel toeing the feet beneath the hips. Setting up for a little bit of eagle. Big breath all the way up. Hands into the heart center. Sitting in our chair pose. We are welcome to stay right here. If we want to, taking the right knee over the left. Cross-legged, we can bring the toes down for a kickstand. We can flex for balance, or maybe wrap it around. Bringing the elbows to connect. Right elbow sweeps underneath. Backs of the hands or palms connect. Or modification, we can always be right here, just giving ourselves a hug. Two more deep breaths. And releasing the legs to our chair pose. Releasing the arms, big breath all the way up. Exhale, fingertips down by our sides. Deep breath, take it all the way up. And returning to our chair. We can stay here, or left knee up and over. Pick the option that suits you best. Elbows connect, left elbow can sweep underneath. Still breathing. Now sometimes when we hold the pose, we want to hold the breath. And softly release the legs. Releasing the arms, big breath all the way up. Interlacing the fingers, float to the right side. And bring it up to the other side. And back up. Hands into the heart. Big breath all the way up. With this breath out, returning to the top of the mat. Inhale. Swan dive down. Flat back. And release, return to down dog. Hop back or step back. One more deep breath here. We'll inhale, float to our plank. How slow can we go through our chaturanga? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, baby cobra. Holding here. In baby cobra, there's no weight in the hands. As we move into bow pose, we have the option of a little half bow if that suits our body best. If we're nursing an injury, we can always come onto this side body for a half bow. When we're ready, if we want full bow, we'll bend one leg, reach back, grab the ankle. Bend the other knee, reach back, grab the ankle. And gently press the ankles into the hands. I'm not sure what that is, buddy. Deep breaths in. If we're comfortable, we can let the thighs float up, taking it a little deeper. And gently lower it down, bringing the right cheek to the mat. And just wiggle out through the hips. And time for round 2. Bring the head to center, draw the shoulders back. If we're just doing half bow, we'll do one side and do the other side. If we want full bow, bend the leg, bend the other, open up the heart. Maybe float the legs out. One more big breath here. And gently lower down, bring the cheek to the mat. Release the legs, wiggle out through the hips. And we'll bring it back to center, hands beneath the shoulders, gently pressing up and into our child's pose. And walking the hands into the body, slowly rising up. Taking the hips off to the side, sweep those legs around in front of us. Pressing out through the ankles, rocking the sit bones back. Deep breath all the way up. Lifting the rib cage up and over the thighs, floating it forward.
Look at it.
We can always use a strap or a block here. If our legs are longer than our arms, we'll want to use a strap. If our arms are longer than our legs, we can pretend that there's a block here and just reach into the edges of it. walking the hands back into the body. Coming into a little half heroes. If full hero is your thing, feel free to go there. Otherwise, we're just going to take that leg up, tucking the heel to the outside of the hip. If we want it, we can walk the hands back. We can bring that right elbow down, maybe the left. If we want it, we can sink all the way down to a flat back. Honor your body. The sun's out, so I might be here for a while. When we're ready, we'll slowly bring ourselves back up and lean out. Bring that leg back around and come to the other side. Bring that heel to the outside of the hip. This side of the body is different, so honor this side. We can take it down to the left elbow, take it down to the right elbow. If it's in our practice, we can lower all the way back and down. And when we're ready, we'll gently make our way all the way back up. Releasing those legs. Bringing a bend in the knees, coming into tabletop, reverse tabletop, one of my favorite shoulder stretches. So we're going to take the hands behind us, fingertips pointing in. If this is uncomfortable, we can always be fist for wrist here. We just want to open up through the collarbones. So when we're ready, we'll press the feet into the floor, maybe lift the hips a little, maybe a little more. Breathing deep, doing a nice stretch through the lats as well. We can always take this into inclined plank. We can stretch one leg out, or maybe both legs out. Keeping the hips strong. And walking it back in. Lower it back down. And coming all the way down. Hugging the knees into the chest, rock it around a bit, side to side. Little reclining pigeon pose, bringing the right foot to the mat. Keep the knee bent as we stack the left ankle on top of the thigh. And just hug it in. Modification here. Just because it's a modification doesn't mean it's easier. We can always take fork lift arms, hook it underneath that pigeon leg, stretching the other leg up to the ceiling, then slowly lowering it all the way down. And gently bring it back up, back into our pigeon. And release it down, coming to the other side, stacking right ankle over the left thigh, reaching between and just hug it in. Again, we can stay right here or take our forklift arms, go underneath, grab hold and stretch that leg up. Maybe lower it down slowly.
It's like in a pipe. This side first. I got this on. Get that pipe. What happened?
And gently bring it up and back into our pigeon. And releasing it all down. Taking the feet out to the edges of the mat and just let the knees windshield wiper from one side to the other. Then And bring it back in. Hug your knees back into the chest. Rock around a little bit more, setting up for a little happy baby pose. Flexing the feet, making them into goalposts. Reach up. You can grab the outside of the legs or the baby toe side of the foot and just bring it in towards the armpits. We can find a little wiggle room here if we'd like. If we want a little bit more, we can come into a variation, bringing the hands to the back of the heels and just gently stretching the legs out. Still breathing, reconnecting to the breath if we've lost that connection.
Do you know what this gun's for? It's for bad guys.
Well, there's only good guys here, so.
But
And come back to our happy baby. Bring the soles of the feet together and lower those legs down in supine butterfly.
I saw the bullet.
Then whenever we're ready, we're going to come into our comfortable resting place, our Shavasana. We can stay here, we can stretch the legs out, tucking the shoulder blades deep beneath the body, and just closing the eyes. If the mind begins to wander, acknowledge each thought, know that it's there, that it serves a purpose. Then let each thought float away like the clouds in the sky. And until we meet again, namaste.